This is the Yankees POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, once again, the Kansas City Royals, no match for the New York Yankees. First of three in KC. Bombers win it tonight handily. 10-2 the final score. Austin Wells drove in 5. Aaron Judge hit his 24th. Max Fried 7 strong. Again, 10-2 the final as the Yankees kick off the road trip in style. A perfect 4-for-4 against the Royals so far this season. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you. Please follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The postcast gives you a place to chat after every game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your very first year. And away we go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, lots to get to on this 10-2 victory night for the Yankees. As we said, now a perfect 4-for-4 against the Kansas City Royals. It's men versus boys, to be quite fair. Of course, the Yankees eliminated the Royals last year in 4 in the division series, and they have taken 4 from Kansas City so far this year. In fact, the sweep at the hands of the Yankees earlier in the season in the Bronx, that's the only time this season that the Royals have been swept. Well, so far, not good for KC because the Yankees are 1-for-1 in this 3-game series. We'll start with the pitching. Max Fried was great again. He is now 9-1 on the season. His season ERA is down to 1.84. 7 strong, 6 hits, 2 earned, did not walk a batter, and struck out 4. As we said, Fried now 9-1. And a little bit more on Fried. Of course, the last game before tonight was a Yankee loss, the Sunday nighter, despite 2 home runs from Aaron Judge. That was a loss to the Red Sox. So technically, despite the fact that it's 48 hours later, still comes after a loss. Well, Max Fried is your man after a loss. Games following a Yankee loss this season, 8 starts for Fried, 54 innings pitched, 48 Ks, and get this, an ERA of 0.83. So, if you lost, throw Max Fried out there. He'll get you a win. Again, the Yankees now 12-2 in Fried starts. He's pitched 14 times. The Yanks have won 12 of them. That is not only ace-like stuff, but Cy Young type stuff. And he'll certainly be in the lead for that, despite the fact that we're only 2.5 months into the season. All right, as for Austin Wells, he was awesome tonight. He wows with 5 RBIs, ties a career high. By the way, Wells hit 9th in the order tonight. He had 2 hits, including a 3-run shot in the first, had a 2-run double later on. As we said, 2-for-4, drove in 5 big ones on 2 swings for Austin Wells. As for Aaron Judge, well, he blasted one in the very first inning. His home run in that frame, his 24th of the season, 469 feet, 118 miles per hour off the bat, easily his longest home run of the season. One of the longest home runs ever hit in KC. Again, 469 feet, couldn't even see it land. As for Judge, 2 more hits, 2 for 5 with 3 ribs, including the homer. His average stays exactly the same, 396. Just goes to show how amazing his numbers are, considering he had 2 hits tonight and his average didn't go up. It stayed exactly where it was at 396. But again, he adds a home run, his 24th, and 3 RBIs, numbers 56, 57, and 58. So to recap, Judge hitting 396, 24 homers, 58 RBIs. If Max Fried is cruising towards a Cy Young, well, you know what that means for Aaron Judge. A no doubt MVP, which of course would be his third. Before we get there, plenty to discuss. Congrats to Cody Bellinger, collected his 1,000th career hit tonight. It was the RBI single in the 6th inning, Bellinger's lone hit on the night. Paul Goldschmidt led off tonight. He had a hit in 5 at-bats. Trent Grisham had 2 hits. As we said, Aaron Judge had 2 hits. Anthony Volpe had 2 hits. Jason Dominguez had 3 hits. DJ LeMahieu reached base 4 times, including 2 hits. Yankees belted 16 hits tonight. And again, they roughed up the Kansas City pitching, which includes Noah Cameron, who's been pretty good. In fact, he allowed 6 earned runs today in 5 2/3 innings pitched. He saw his ERA raised to 2.17. Again, he allowed 6 runs in 5 2/3, and his ERA is only just north of 2. So it'll give you an idea of how good he's been and just how much credit you have to give to the Yankee bats for tonight. Back to Wells real quick. A few stats worthy of mention. Wells now has 5 home runs against left-handed pitching this year. Of course, Austin Wells is a lefty. Tonight was his 5th. If you recall, he had never hit a home run off a lefty before this year. As we said, he's got 5 now. The only left-handed batter with more home runs off left-handed pitching in all of baseball than Wells this year, Kyle Schwarber has 11. That's a lot. And again, Austin Wells has 5. Also, 5 career home runs against Kansas City for Austin Wells, his most versus any opponent. All right, 10-2 final score. Yanks now 40-25, 15 games above 500. Their 40th victory. They're 19-13 away. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Royals just a game above 500 at 34-33. Very interesting times in the 9th inning. Yerry De Los Santos could not get 3 outs. Strange to see it, but despite the fact that there were bases loaded and 2 outs in the 9th, Aaron Boone still made the move to Tim Hill, who throws 6 pitches to get 1 out, got the job done, and earns Max Fried his 9th win of the season. Jazz Chisholm also made his presence felt with a hit tonight, and obviously tremendous base running and good defense as well. However, because of the steal of third, you saw how his head kind of got jammed into the knee of Michael Garcia at third base for Kansas City. Well, Jazz would ultimately leave with what the Yankees were calling neck stiffness. So again, we'll have to keep our eyes open on that. As for the Yankees, they scored 5 times in the 6th inning. Worthy of note as well, the Yankees have now scored 5 or more runs in an inning. This is an amazing stat. 16 times this season already. They've played 65 games. They've scored 5 or more runs in an inning 16 times. For perspective, last year in 162 games, the Yankees collected 5 or more runs in an inning 15 times. So the Yankees have 100 more games to play roughly, and they've already eclipsed last year's 5+ inning run mark. Amazing stuff. And the Yankees continue to blast their way through opponents. All right, 10-2 the final score. We've got an update on Giancarlo Stanton. Pretty good. We've got an update on a reliever. Not so good. And we'll tell you about these excellent pitching matchups coming up for the rest of the Kansas City series. All right, we'll begin with Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is backed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, well, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Well, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, well, their free trade master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals already taking advantage. So now it's your turn. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com. Now start ordering plumbing, HVAC, electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus use promo code SH5, that for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, next up is Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all the money go? Yeah, you definitely did. Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Well, now I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB, half off your first year. All right, we are back, and it is our favorite time of the night.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Could easily give it to Max Fried. Could easily give it to Aaron Judge. But we're going to give it to Austin Wells, who ties a career high with 5 RBIs, including a 3-run shot. A 3-run shot and a 2-run double. 2 swings, he drives in 5. And again, Austin Wells, who batted 9th, drives in 5, including the home run. Austin Wells now hitting .227 on the year. But again, a home run, his 11th, and he now has 41 RBIs for a catcher who's not playing every single day. Tremendous numbers despite the low average. Again, 11 home runs and 41 RBIs. Great production from Austin Wells, who, as we said, has been effective against both righties and lefties. All right, Giancarlo Stanton, his first rehab game at Somerset, 2 hits, a walk, 3 RBIs. He looked good. Marcus Stroman is scheduled to begin a rehab assignment tomorrow with Somerset. So if you're in the area, you might see Stro and Giancarlo. That's good news. Bad news, however, for Jake Cousins, the reliever, was pulled off his rehab assignment after feeling something in his elbow. Again, this according to Aaron Boone. They're meeting with Dr. Chris Ahmad to figure out what's going on. And obviously, as we said, not good. But again, good news on Stanton and Stroman. As for the probables for the Yankees-Royals series in Kansas City the next 2 nights, again, both 7:40 starts. Tomorrow night's on Prime, so take note there. As for Wednesday, Clark Schmidt and Chris Bubich, excellent pitching matchup, as is the next day on Wednesday. Will Warren and old friend Seth Lugo. Again, the Yanks and Royals have played 4 times this year. The Yanks have won them all. They'll try for 5 tomorrow. And again, it's Schmidt and Bubich on Wednesday. Thursday, Warren and Lugo before the Yankees then head to Boston. 3 games with the Sox, back-to-back weekends. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. Right now for the Yankees, the pitching lines up as Yarborough, Rodon, and then Fried on Sunday afternoon. So the Red Sox and the Yankees will meet once more this month, this time at Fenway. All right, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Goutsoulias and Brian McKeon. They handle all the stuff again at Locked On Yankees, so follow, subscribe, and enjoy. 10-2 the final score as the Yankees whip up on the Royals again. Not including last year's playoffs, the Yanks are pretty good against Kansas City, 4 for 4 this year. Austin Wells drives in 5. Aaron Judge hits a home run 469 feet, 118 miles per hour off the bat. For Judge, his 24th. Max Fried, 7 innings of strong ball. He earns the win now, 9-1 overall. Again, 10-2 the final score. Game 2, Yanks and Royals tomorrow night. Have a good night, everyone.